Hey guys. Craig and Chirpy. Scott. G'day. Jim Minnick. Hello. Max. G'day. Wiser. Hello. Fridge. G'day. Casual Steel. Russell Dold. David Ian Sykes. G'day. Stephen Lang. You're up early. Kevin. Hello. It's really cold here in the shed. Nothing particularly airtight tonight. There's a bit of a wind. Stiff breeze off the ocean, I guess. So it's a bit cold. Aaron. G'day. And Peter Noddle. Hello. Paul. Hello. Bit jealous of the new machine, Paul. Jesus, cold. Good jumper on. But anyway, I'm tearing my hair out over this stupid thing. Hey, it moves. Seriously, it moves. But it doesn't move correctly, but it moves. There's a configuration setting in the Arduino which doesn't seem to be compiling with the Arduino, and when in the middle of all this, I've got an old laptop set up down here from a few years ago. It's a Windows 10 laptop, and I've just cleaned it out and got it up to date and stuff, and it's not a bad laptop probably. But the Arduino upload won't work at all on this, so I've been lugging this thing up and down the stairs to the desktop computer to reprogram it, and it's still not configuring properly, so I don't know. I'll get it sorted, but Bill Baggins, I hope you're okay. Hey Stevie, good to see you. So it's not configured for Core XY, which is the operating system. When you move it in the X or the Y direction, it moves diagonally, which probably means that it shouldn't do that. So that's where I'm at with this thing. But the evidence is there, it moves. Goebbels. Hey Dennis. Kevin, yeah, I've Goebbels 1.1H, something like that. So it should sort of work. But it's got to be reconfigured, and the configuration file that I'm changing isn't the one that's uploading, I think. So it's just a matter of spending some time on it. I've really spent today cutting these rods, which was pretty hard work, with a Dremel, because I haven't got an angle grinder, and setting these up and getting it so that it does move, and put all the belts on it correctly. And gee, it's windy out there. It's howling. So at this point, it doesn't quite work correctly, and it still needs to be calibrated somewhere because it seems to crash pretty easy. And there's a bit of a list of things that need to be done before next week or so when the laser gets here. So still a few things to do, but it's sort of See, that's moving diagonally, and it moves in the Y direction. Sort of. And that's moving diagonally the other way, it moves in the X direction. So at this point it's moving, everything runs and slides pretty well, and I'm kind of impressed with the design at this point. Got all the belts on it, everything seems to work except that it needs to be sorted out. Anyway, how's everyone else? Mary's got a migraine, I'm sorry. And Bill's got a migraine, it's a Tasmanian thing. It's good to see you, Dennis. It really is. Good to see all of you. So that was a bit of time this morning and a bit of time this afternoon making this thing, putting this thing together. But it also still needs props. It's still sitting on 1, 2, 3 blocks, which really isn't the answer. So we're still working on that. But there you go. That's an overview of the laser cutter. It's starting to look like a laser cutter, but I'm not convinced it's right yet. Probably I'm going to put some bolts down through it and some T-bolts and clamp some like 30-30 rail or something under it. I don't know. We'll have a look. It might be just timber. So there we go. So this is set up here with this laptop, which is a bit of a pain in the neck because I don't actually have a PowerPoint on this table. It really is something that needs doing. So probably I'm going to put a power board on it with a long extension lead that I can plug in, and then I don't have to trip over the cord, which is a problem. Yeah, see, this really isn't ideal as such, but we're going to come unstuck with that. Aaron, oh my gosh, it's a laser cutter. Boom pole's a good idea. I was thinking about a hanging thing, but it's a long way up there, and it's a whole lot of extension cord. Really, you need about a 30-meter extension cord to drop one down here. So it's a thought, but I think a power board screwed on the side of the table would be as good as anything. Anyway, Journeyman Randy, good day. So anyone who's not up to speed, Aaron, this is JB from Oz. Built this as part of the tool making competition last year, was it? The year before, last year I think. And it's a little low duty CNC engraver or cutter, so yeah. Harry HHH, sound like it was skipping steps. Yeah, it's got some issues there. It's not skipping, and the motors and everything seem to work really well without the belts on it, but I think that the issue is that it's just not set up for Core XY. So we'll try that first, and then we'll see where we're at with that. So, yeah. Anyway, look for an announcement for the tool making competition. It won't be a competition as such, but we have got something planned that's going to be pretty cool, I think. This year we might waive the competition bit. But look for an announcement about the 21st of this month, something like that. There you go. No idea what the date is today. I think it's the 4th or something. So you've got 2.5 weeks for me to film something. Look for an announcement there. 21st, something like that. 20th, 21st. So More people who shout that out, the better. Let's get it out there and get some noise about that announcement. When it comes out, there'll be a video about it. The conversation on the THC on Discord. You mean TMC? Yes, Toolfest 2020. There we go. Petered out, but we sort of got everything sorted, and I don't know, there's sort of any other modification or anything will probably come from me. But anyway, Toolfest 2021 is a hashtag to look out for. Engrave that in your memories, and we'll have something pretty cool sorted out eventually. I've got people to contact. There's people I want to talk to about it. There's things that I really want to get sorted first, but there will be an announcement about that date, so I've got to get my act together a bit. Announcements 21st August. The event date will be about the 24th of November. Yeah. So that's all we're going to say about that without an announcement video and how it all works. But that's kind of day before Thanksgiving in America, which is a pretty good time for views. So let's make that work. So kind of got it threshed out, but it could be pretty cool. And anyone who says, hey, look, I'm looking for this in a video, or check this out, this is going to happen about this date on this channel, extra brownie points, because that's what it needs. So let's make some noise about it, make it work, make a pretty big YouTube event, I think, out of this time. Jeffy says everyone will be in the sleep coma after that. Yep. That's fair. Anyway. Trits4, g'day. Few new faces there. Harry Triple H, I don't think the rail scoot, it seems to slide pretty jolly nice. I'm a little bit impressed about that. So on that laser cutter, everything seems to run pretty nice. So it could be binding somewhere, I'm not sure, but we'll get it so that it works in the right directions first, and then we'll have a look at that. And yeah, it's got to be configured so it doesn't run into holes and run into gaps and things, so run into the edges. Oh, Trits4, hi, Mike from Cornwall. Good day. That's a bit confusing. Anyone who is in disguise or incognito or got stupid usernames that no one can relate to, you ought to put your name up and say what your name actually is, because calling you by your stupid username is a bit of a pain in the neck. So there you go. That's what I think. That's just me. Anyway, hey, Harry's Harry. It's pretty awesome. Yep. Good to see you anyway. Chirp is a weirdo. I mean, Chirp. Yeah, okay. We all know Chirp. And actually, no one knows what Chirp's name is, but Chirp, he answers to Chirp, so that'll do. So what else have I done? We're in lockdown, which is a bit of a pain. It really is. Nuisance, really. I've still got a few extra days after this stage of lockdown of annual leave, so I'm sort of not in any particular hardship as far as work goes. But but it means I've got an extra couple of days at least at home. I don't know how much longer, but there's not a whole lot happening here. Casual school, Steel, we're going to start calling him, we'll call him Simon. There we go. We haven't got a clue what his name is, so we'll call him Simon. Hi, Simon. Right, Harry, yeah, I'm sort of at this point we're sort of in lockdown. There's a bit of a nuisance, and I really just hope that it clears up by the end of the week, but we'll see how we go. Need to get back to work to pay for projects. Got rent this week, paid the phone bill, got food in the cupboard. We're okay, but we're missing work a bit. John Creasy, g'day. What else have we been doing? Not much. Hang on, I'm going to unplug this stupid thing before I kill myself. There we go. It's unplugged. Now I can get past. Been working on this flat out too for a few hours today. There's a lot of screws in this. Bit of progress. This is all put together with 8BA brass screws and quite a lot of them, and 1/4 inch angle on the corners. So it's looking pretty good, really. Pretty pleased with that. Whether they'll get cleaned up on the outside, I don't know, or whether they'll just be left like that. They're all nice and evenly spaced, so I probably could leave them if I needed to. So got the corners done. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So it all screws together. I'm just putting these on here. Set the tapping machine up so that I can tap these all 8BA, which saves a whole lot of energy, actually. Tapping machine's awesome. I found a drill bit. I didn't go and get one. I did lose my number 50 drill, and I still haven't got a clue where it is out of my set, but I did find another one. So we're on to this. So all this is going to have holes all the way around too, halfway between, to bolt it down to the sole plate, which is this plate here. And bolts on there like that. So and hopefully this comes somewhere near flat again when we do that, because it had a bit of a buckle from soldering before, riveting. So that sort of bolts on there like that. Bought screws. There's no way I'm making 200 8BA brass screws. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah. I thought I was buying packets of 50 and only bought packets of 25, so I've probably only got half as many as I need, but I've got screws, and we can start bolting this thing up. So this screws down on here all the way around. Then there's another piece of angle halfway around here and down here for the tank, which is this piece here. Goes on there somewhere like that, on the top of the tank. And this piece here that we've got, that we've just sort of, we're working on, goes there. That has a cutout in it here too for coal delivery to the firebox. So this is a bit of a project. It really is. There's a lot of brass in it and a lot of work in it, but it's coming up nice. Hey Phil, how are you? Good to see some workshop progress and updates this week from Phil. It was awesome. Didn't see a video, but did see some Instagram and Facebook stuff. And JB's a bit late, but we've cursed him out already, so he's escaped that. Anyway, miss you on YouTube. Stephen, that's a pretty fair comment, yeah. Brass, as I've been collecting it sheet form over the last 2 or 3 years to be able to do this bit, so I've got no idea. I reckon there's probably $300 worth of brass in the tender, but it's all sitting around there everywhere. JB's a busy guy, that's all. So that's happened, right? Or happening as we speak. There's a lot of screws in that, and there's still more to come. I would like tomorrow and Friday, if I get Friday, I'm not sure if Friday or not, but I would very much like to get that all screwed down and looking sort of solid. These happen too. Going to move a bit further along the bench, sorry guys. There we go. So these happen too. These haven't got the right springs in them yet, but they're on. These were a bit of an ordeal actually. They got 4 6BA bolts. I made a little template which looks something like this, just to sit them through to drill them. These 4 here, and then to clamp on here and drill these plates as well. This one here, which has also been done, they've got stronger springs. Still not strong enough, but they're a bit better. One of these holes was in the wrong spot, so I've had to fill that or plate it or make a bung for it and solder it in and then re-drill it so that they're both right now. So they've been done. Another project out of the way. Chevy, you're an idiot. He deserved it. I'm only getting top chat for some reason. Sorry, guys. Not sure it makes any difference, but I'm not making a lot of sense of some of this. Anyway, there we go. So that's another project that's happened. The other thing that I picked up this week, which was pretty awesome, my mate Josh come and give me a hand to pick up a drafting table. I made a video about that, which was very bad, and I apologise for the terrible video, but it was dark. I'm going to have to do something about some lights up there on the drawing table. It is a nice table. It's in pretty good condition. I've looked at a lot of them that had the soft surface peeling off and were rusty and were falling apart and missing parts and had bad machines on them or bits missing or rust or sticker damage or whatever. And this one has been listed for a little while, and the guy didn't know very much at all about it. I said, what sort of machine's on it? And he said, it wasn't a machine, it's a table. So we had to sort of, and then I went to see it, and I was a minute late at the bottom of the driveway, and he texted me, asked me where he was, and when he was in a hurry, so we sort of didn't even look at it. I just handed the money over and run with it. So that's how it is. We have a mic. Is it the same mic or a different mic? Must be a different mic. Hi, Mike. So it's pretty tidy. Same mic. Yeah, same mic. Hi, Mike. There was a video from Presso. There's a video from Presso. There's 15,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Presso's got an amazing channel. You should check him out. If you don't follow Presso, you probably should. It's really good how-to stuff, and in particular finishing and powder coating and plating and a bit of electronics and all that sort of good stuff. Is a really, really good. Presso's really good channel, and Craig's just put a link up, which is really nice of him. So Presso had a video out, and he's got a touch DRO module that he wants to give away to an Australian creator. So if anyone who's got a machine that needs DRO, it's a pretty good system, I think. The only person I know who really uses it is John Creasy, and he doesn't seem to complain or upgrade. So I think it's a pretty good sort of a system. Haven't messed with it much. But he does still have one left to give away, I believe. So if anyone's interested, send him an email. But watch that video, it's a good video. And leave a comment, because I think he's going to drop some to viewers as well. What else has happened? There's a couple of shop crane builds which were really pretty good, and makes me feel like I probably should have one of those. Really quite excellent. There's one from Aaron's Engineering, is a complete build, and one from Matty. Really enjoyed both videos of both series, and they both look pretty useful things. So check out Aaron, and check out Matty, because they both made kind of pretty cool shop cranes. And what else did I see? There's an update from Matt's is always a good video, was it? Update from Knackler's Workshop, Paul, on a new machine, which I'm a little bit jealous about. Pretty nice little jig borer. I'd like one of those, but they don't seem to turn up. And last time one did turn up, someone else got it, and I don't know if it's been used yet, but I know where it is. So at this point, I'm not really keen to lift too many machines, Stephen, but we'll see how we go. I am getting to the point that this locomotive's a bit hard to move around, though. Other videos. What do you see? One from Stephen Lang on making a scribe block for vernier height gauge, which is my sort of technology, and a pretty good video. So check that out too. Craig, answer your question about DROifying the drawing table. I don't know, but a DRO on a drawing table seems like a really smart idea. It seems like a logical progression, actually. Being able to divide 2 points into odd number of spaces, or mark out circles, or yeah, there kind of seems like a lot of uses for a 2-axis DRO on a drawing table, but I'm not sure whether that's going to happen or whether it's going to. I may or may not have put my hand up for one, and if it arrives, I guess there'll be a video about it, and it might end up on the lathe. We'll see. Yeah, saw a short video today about cranes lifting grandkids too, so it's pretty awesome. Good video. So, yeah, Craig's working overtime with the links there. That's where we're at. The other crazy thing that happened this week, something I'm a bit passionate about, no one else is really very keen on or knows very much or really wants to know about. No, it's awesome, Craig. And this isn't everyone's passion, and probably I've got rocks in my head for making it mine. But this arrived. We'll go here, sorry. This poor thing, right? This is terrible. It's a healing. I've got no idea of the age. It's a healing, which is an Australian-made bike, steel frame. It's got a brazed H badge there and some stickers that are all screen printing that's completely missing. Wheels are straight, yeah. Not going to be another project at any time soon. These wheels are crappy, and if anyone has a couple of 28-inch 40-spoke rings laying about, let me know, and they can go in storage with the bike. Guards aren't original. Parcel tray isn't original. Seat might be original. Pedals may or may not be original. I think the sprocket's probably original. If the cranks are original, they'll have a date on them, and I haven't got to that yet. I probably won't for a bit. Headset, everything's pretty original. Yeah, you're going to need a smaller boat. I think this lasts about a week underwater. So anyway, it's a nickel plate bike. It's ladies' bike, which doesn't fill me with a lot of joy. If it had been a racer or a steely frame bike, I may have been a bit more passionate about doing it up. But grandma bike, I don't know about that. I've already got one that I'm doing. So it's probably going to end up in the ceiling hanging up or on the wall or out of the way somewhere, and we'll forget about it for a couple of years or 5 years or something until we get some other projects done. But the poor thing's about had enough, really. Potentially it's got quite a lot, but sadly there's a lot of new bits to go on that bike and a lot of obsolete bits that are going to be hard to find. So at this point we've got an Australian ladies' bike from somewhere between the 30s and the 50s, and it's a bit tired. The serial number says it's a bit late, but the style of it says it might be a bit early. More likely it's an older bike that's come in from reconditioning and repainting and they put a later serial number on, which was quite a common thing. So it could be anyone's bike or any manufacturer's bike, and they've just bought it in and reconditioned it, put their badge on it, and sold it back out the door. I guess it's the same thing still happens today, but it was probably second hand in the 50s, and it's probably a 30s bike from the start. So who knows? Anyway, it's a bit tired. Just thought I'd show you that. I've seen better bikes come out of the canals on fishing videos, to be honest. That's where I'm at with that. There's absolutely no, you can't offend me with that. I've seen much better bikes come out of canals, and probably it did come out of a canal. I don't know, but it's a bit tired. It's a nice frame. That's about all that's left on that. It's not even a particularly nice set of handlebars. They've been kinked. Front forks are straight. The frame isn't too bent. Gonna need a few bearings, ball races and things, because nothing's going to fit it, and we're not going to be able to find anything. It's got a freewheel hub on the back, which could be anything, and it might be collectible or it might not. But anyway, it's dead. Well, it's not dead, but it's certainly not looking good, and we're struggling to find bits to hang it up by if we put it on the wall. So probably it just needs a couple of hooks to hang it up somewhere at some point. But we've got kinked handlebars, and we've got seriously, there's a bit of tube work that needs doing, and there's a whole lot of artwork, and there's some restoration, and maybe you could end up with a nice bike. It's been repainted maybe at some point. There's traces of red on it, and there's traces of blue on it, and there's traces of black on it, so I've really got no idea. There's quite a bit of nickel plate, which makes me think that it's probably a fairly early one. It could be a 30s bike if it's nickel plated. Anyway, could send it to Tom and get Tom to restore it. That's an excellent idea. It's probably very unlikely that poor Tom will thank me for that, but anyway. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Tapping machine's been working pretty hard. I was going to have some holes drilled to tap some holes and show you, but I never. So you've missed out. Sorry. Because if I did it, I'd have to mark everything out, and I haven't got a lot of brass to waste, so I'm not just going to tap some holes to show you. But tapping machine handles APA tap particularly well, so nothing wrong with that. Poor bike. Other things. Lathes a mess, it could do with clean. The floor's a mess, it could do with the sweep. Bench was clear this time yesterday. Like before I discovered that I had today off, I kind of had this bench clean and ready to go, but it's got a bit populated again. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure evaporust would be an answer for this. But there's 1,000 things to find for this bike if you were going to restore it. It could do with the right set of guards because they're for a different size bike. They don't quite fit the bike particularly well. I think they're probably for a 26-inch. And they fit around the front, but they don't fit around the back. It probably needs a saddle of some sort. I think the one that's on it's kind of a bit far gone, really. And it needs probably a donor set of handlebars to unbraze and re-weld back in, or to make a set. It needs... I don't think it's ever had brakes on it, so we'd probably give that a miss. Not sure. There's just a list of things that the poor thing needs. It needs a couple of wheels, really. And I don't know. Anyway. Anyway, you're still getting your money's worth out of the bike. This car. Where is it? No idea. It was here. Could be anywhere. I'll put it up or put it away or put it out or moved it or not moved it. Or... Anyway, I've got half round beading, which doesn't look like very much fun, but that's got to go around the outside of this here. Not sure whether that's what's going to happen or whether it's going to end up with a flat on top, or how I can attach that or keep it attached while I solder it and it all cools down. At least with half round beading you can sort of rivet it in place. But to put a T-piece on top here, which is what the original, or like the prototype had, might be a bridge too far, to be honest. What it needs is, depending on the age of it, it needs probably a decent brake hub, but we've got to do some investigation on that. I think the cranks will probably give us the clue on that, but I'm not sure. You put a slot and brass tubing or rod, yes, and it doesn't sound like a particularly fun thing to do, Chip. If you get something that'd sit there while you soldered it, it'd be good, but it still seems like it could be a bridge too far. Probably I'm going to use a little half round. I had it yet last night when I was chatting. No idea where I put it. It's in a bag. I know I rolled it up and put it in a bag, which was a pretty good effort. But not sure where the bag ended up. So we've got half round brass rod, and we'll see how that goes. It's not very big. Don't know, I'm really still thinking about that. Anyway, what else is happening? Don't know. Don't know if there's much happening or not. It's not warm. If anyone's got any thoughts about what sort of lights to put on a drawing table, so you don't get any shadows, I'd really appreciate that feedback. Really would, actually. It'd be great. And if anyone lives locally and is Arduino expert who wants to come and set this laser cutter up, I'd really appreciate that too. But I'll get it. I mean, tomorrow maybe, if I have enough time or I spend time on it, I might get it sorted and get it streamlined. It's only been together an hour probably, so it's doing all right. Yeah, LED is a problem, and there's a mercury vapor in here, and that's a bit of an issue with some settings too. I probably only need a couple of lights on it, but I really, the last few times I've messed with it, it's got shadow problems, so I really want to alleviate that completely. So we'll see. But I'd also like some tracing paper, but decent vellum tracing paper is pretty expensive. So I actually saw somewhere that was less than $1 a sheet. I might buy 100 sheets, but it might not be this week either with lockdown and stuff. Thanks, JB, for that. I think it probably is. I just got to work it out, get it working. I'm going to ask you too if you can remember at some point what you put along the sides to lift it up and give it an air gap under the laser. So I'm going to ask you about that. So if you remember, you could sort of put that away. Enlarger went yesterday. 3 enlargers are gone, complete, which is really good. I'd been asked a couple of times about parting them out, and I really didn't want to do that because I'd be stuck with the bits that weren't particularly usable. But it was always an option, and there's a truck come yesterday and took them to Waz's place. So Waz's got more junk than he could handle again, and that's what he needs. So we need to support Wazza and his little addictions. But hopefully there was enough treasures in there to make up for the junk he got. JB printed some feet, okay. So there we go. I've got a little bit more room, like a couple of square meters, 3 square meters. I need to keep going with that because I'd really like a sandblast cabinet here somewhere, and there's not really a lot of room for that. But mostly I just need to get some stuff put away and some bikes hung up and stuff like that. Hey Maddie, good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. We already complimented you on your video, so we must have meant it because we said it when you weren't here. Good video from Maddie this week on shop crane, which looks like a really good thing and has come up really nice. But always good videos from Maddie. You should go and check that out. Thanks, Craig. Yeah, no, JB. Yeah, no, that's the answer on that. I got a bike instead. It's the trouble with making a 6-foot steel ruler is that, yeah, it's a lot of feet, but if you put too many on one side, you end up, yeah, it's not as good as you thought it was going to be. Hey, Adam, good to see you. An actual comment. That's awesome. So, Adam's class finished early tonight. I'm surprised you're still at school. I thought we had lockdown and stuff down there too. But it's good that you've actually got class. Aha, online classes. Yep. So, there we go. I also got bolts for all the other things too. That's the other thing that come with this parcel. I got brass bolts for the pump. And I got some pieces, handrail stanchions, to put some grab rails on the tender eventually one day. Got some 5x8 quarter to bolt this sole plate down onto the tender. And the rest of, what else did I get? 4BA by 5/16. I'm not even sure what I got them for. I must have got them for something. I think I probably meant to get countersunk bolts. Anyway. So that's the progress. You come in late, Adam, after 6 months, there's so many updates. Yep, this is the tender, it's coming together nicely. This is the locomotive with the new buffers and the tender with the new buffers. This is the tender chassis, which we've been working on off and on for quite some time. So that's all going. There's the hand pump. And this is the tank, which is a fair bit of work, to be honest. Anyway, there we go. There's the update for anyone who come in late. Been tapping all these with the tapping machine, which handles 8BA pretty well. To give you some idea how big an 8BA screw is, this is him here. So they're not very big, but that tapping machine handles that pretty well. So I think it'd be good with 10 or 12 BA even. Don't think you'd ever break a tap with it. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's a bit of a test for it. It took me 10 minutes to set it up, and it saved myself hours, I think, tapping all those holes by hand. JB, an update, because you come in late too, if you're still there. So this laptop probably has a flat battery now. Anyway, it all works, but it doesn't work particularly well yet. But it's only been together an hour, and it's some configuration settings with the software. So that's all. Yeah, laptop's dead. I don't know how good the battery is in the laptop, to be honest, because it was charging all night, and it's flat in about an hour tonight. Anyway, it's probably why I stopped using it. Anyway, this is starting to look all right. It all runs pretty nice that way and this way, sort of. It's got a bit of load on the steppers there, so probably it's not as good idea as it could be. But this I'm pretty happy with. Mechanically it looks great. So there you go, JB. It's coming together. It's a pretty good design mechanically. And it's probably a pretty good design electrically too, but it's a bit beyond me. We're getting there. Printed a little box for the Arduino in the bottom and this driver board on top, so that's actually pretty good. That's all bolted up. These are sort of adjustable. I don't know if there's really something you need to be adjustable. They might have been better or as good without adjustment, because you've got adjustment here on the belts. So there we go. But it's coming together. This is really the first time I've had time, or the first occasion to play with it, because it's really, I've been waiting for bits for it. And the laser's not here either. Smart thing to do if you're going to do that is just get a laser cut out of aluminium. That's probably what I should have done to start with. But anyway, it's all together. Looks pretty good. I'm probably going to run a piece of 2040 rail or something down each side, or whatever it needs to prop it up. Down underneath here each side. Chirpy difiles. It's one of those things that seem like an awesome idea until you actually use one, and then it becomes less of an idea, because they're really a pretty miserable animal. And I'd like to get it finished now. I've got space to do it. I know exactly where it is. It's in the drawer. But need a bigger machine than what I've got too. That's the other issue. As far as Prince is concerned, is there generally a problem with flexing? I don't know. I don't think this is going to have a problem with flexing. I think if we sit it pretty comfortably on each side and probably each, I don't know. I don't think it'll move much. I really don't. But yeah, there's no sideways load on it. That's the other thing too. Anyway, apart from that, locomotive progress is really good. Junk collection progress is fantastic. We're really getting there with that. We're getting to the point that, yeah, we're absolutely making progress with that one. And laser cutter progress is sort of in fits and bounds, actually. How's the space look now? Yeah, untidy, actually, all over the shop. Spent a bit of time yesterday tidying up, because I thought I was getting back to work today, but I'm not. So we had everything out again to do jobs. So honestly, as far as the space goes, we've got junk everywhere. I still have stock storage, and I'm not going to show you the other corner of the shed up there, because I've got stock boxes out looking for things, and they really need some sort of system to put them away. And I've got some ideas about that. We just wait for some cash for some bits. So we'll see how we go with that. Anyway, that's kind of my update. That's what's happening with me. The tapping machine has been working pretty hard today. It's a fantastic machine, really. It's pretty fantastic for small taps. Take care, Aaron. Good to see you. Yeah, trouble is with engraving steel and tools and things, you need something with a bit of go in it, a bit of and like a gravograph or something really isn't up to the job, to be honest. So I've got a little engraver here, and it's fine for engraving plastic, but in metal it's struggling a bit. Really, it does struggle, and that's a bit of a problem with it. So, and it's got some backlash issues too. You just need some practice with a hand engraver, Matty. A decal's probably the awesome way to do it, but it's a bit of a boat anchor too if you're not using it. Anyway. That's another way, Adam, but it's not also not the world's neatest engraving job ever. Stuart's out. Good mate with a flat battery. Speaking of which, I'm probably going to go video chat on Discord after this is finished for a bit. We'll see how we go. If I get a cup of tea and some cup of tea and some dinner, I might do that. Adam, yes, there's a Discord server. Spare Room Machine Shop is the Discord server. You probably all should be part of that, and it's pretty popular and it's pretty busy, so there's always something going on. Been 2 fights this week, which is awesome. Tom Make here uses it to scavenge for stuff to restore. He doesn't actually, but Tom, how'd the auction go? Anyway, take care, Dennis. Good to see you. Good to see all of you, really. There's a Discord invite. Thanks, Craig. So you should totally hit up Discord because it's pretty good sort of a thing in there. They're all, most people there are kind of reasonably agreeable. There you go. You made it. Anyway, it looks like I've got a flat battery. This weekend is a real auction. Anyway, Tom's buying up. I just get given stuff. I'm out anyway, I think. Thanks for joining in. Really good to see you. I hope everyone's okay. Anyone who's in Queensland and New South Wales and Melbourne probably got locked down and it's not much fun, but same as half of Europe. And yeah, make some projects if you possibly can. Check out any of you guys who comment on this live stream, because most of them have got really awesome YouTube channels, much better than mine, so you should go and check them out. Bill's there. Yep, he's got a migraine, poor guy. Anyway, I'm out. I'll be over on Discord for a bit, but I'm going to maybe I might mess with this thing a bit too. We'll see how we go. Be kind to each other, and more soon, guys and girls, and really appreciate your input, etc.